How do you buy a $4 billion AI startup when the government won't let you? You make that company disappear. Last year, a massive startup named Inflection vanished overnight. There was no buyout, no merger, no approval from regulators. For decades, if Microsoft wanted a competitor, they just wrote a check. But about 24 months ago, the government locked the front door. Regulators started blocking tech buyout to stop monopolies. So, Microsoft lawyer found a backdoor. Overnight, Inflection founder walked out. Their engineers walked out. Their core technology was handed over to Microsoft. But if you look at the legal records, Microsoft didn't buy them. In fact, Inflection released a statement saying they are still an independent company. So how does Microsoft swallow a $4 billion competitor, but legally claim it never happened? Here's the trick. You don't buy the company. You sign a licensing agreement. Microsoft paid $650 million to simply rent Inflection software and then hired almost entire staff on the same exact day. On paper, it was just a vendor contract. In reality, it's a ghost transaction, a way to absorb a company without even triggering an antitrust review. Under US law, an antitrust review is only triggered if you buy a company's stock or its physical assets. So Microsoft corporate lawyer asked the question, what if we don't buy the company's stock? We just hollow it out from the inside. When Microsoft put that $650 million on table, they didn't buy a single share of Inflection. Instead, $620 million was classified as simple software license, a vendor fee to rent the code, and then they paid another $30 million so the Inflection would legally waive its right to sue Microsoft for poaching its staff. The very next morning, Microsoft offered Inflection founder and top 70 engineers massive multi-million dollar signing bonuses to simply quit and walk across the street. In 24 hours, Microsoft extracted the technology, the brains, and the leadership. And what happened to the Inflection AI? Microsoft intentionally left it alive. They left the stock untouched. They left a skeleton crew behind. They turned a $4 billion startup into a hollow corporate zombie. Why? Because as long as the Inflection is technically still breathing, Microsoft can look at the federal regulator and say, what merger? We didn't buy our competitor. They are still right there. But the government looked at the Inflection deal and realized they had just been legally outmaneuvered. But instead of backing down, regulators are pivoting to a completely different legal strategy. They are zeroing in one simple concept. Ownership and control are not the same thing. Think of it like a restaurant. If a rival owner takes your secret recipe, hires your head chef, and poaches your entire kitchen staff, then they don't need to legally buy your building. They already absorbed your business. Critics argue this is exactly what Microsoft did. By taking the founders, the top 70 engineers, and the core technology, Microsoft didn't buy the equity, but they gained what lawyers described as de facto control. That is why the Federal Trade Commission fired off a wave of subpoenas to Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. Regulators are actively investigating whether these complex license and hire transactions are exploiting a gap in the rules, and whether they should legally be treated as actual mergers. The outcome of this probe won't just affect the Microsoft. It could completely rewrite how future AI deals are structured across all of Silicon Valley, potentially closing this backdoor for good. But Microsoft corporate lawyers aren't sweating the investigation, because if FTC accuses them of destroying a competitor to form a monopoly, Microsoft won't just point to their paperwork. They are going to point to the zombie company itself. If Inflection were the only example, this would just be an unusual business deal. It was not. Within months, Amazon used the same exact structure. then Google used it. Then it happened again. Different tech giant, different AI startup. The exact same pattern. For decades, Silicon Valley had one predictable ending. You build something valuable, and one day tech giant writes a check and buys your company. Today, that ending is starting to look very different. The founders may leave, the technology may move, the company may technically survive, but the business does not. And officially on paper, no acquisition ever happened. Silicon Valley didn't stop buying startup. It just changed what buying looks like.